Welcome into issue 16 of Comic Cast Video. Jong Lee here.
Hey, it was Michael Carroll.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a minute, I guess you would say. The kids would say it's been a minute, but we're back, and today we're going to be talking about Mulan and how Disney decided to basically give Mulan to us for $30 a screening. And if you have Disney Plus, well, you have to have Disney Plus to be able to watch Mulan when it comes out September 4th on Disney Plus. And a lot of people that are not happy, they're upset. There are some people that are kind of excited. I am in the camp of let's do this September 4th so we don't have to delay this any further. And you, on the other hand, feel the opposite way, right?
I mean, a little bit. I'm glad that it's coming out, but at the same time, I don't think I'm going to be paying $30 to see it. Now, again, my situation is a little different. I'm not necessarily going to have a bunch of people over, or I'm alone, so all the time. So it's fine. It's fine. I have emotional support. That's fine. But yeah, like for me, I don't see a reason for me to go out and watch it. I say go out. I don't see a reason for me to purchase it for $30 just for this one movie alone.
Mm-hmm. And Disney said once you buy the movie, as long as you keep Disney Plus, you'll have Mulan for the extended period of your subscription to Disney Plus, which I think it's fair. I'm locked in for 2 years, and I pay a little over $3 a month. I got on an early price there, so I have a very good deal on it. So it's a little less than half off of what they're offering to all customers. So that's a benefit for me. I'm not bragging or anything, but I could
kind of bragging, just a little bit bragging.
But for people that have it, that are teetering on the fence of whether they're going to buy it or not, I just look at it and equate it this way. Me and my wife go to a movie theater and we buy tickets. Usually they're about $12, $13 before tax, and then you're probably looking at close to $30 for 2 tickets. And we like to, indulge in some popcorn and a drink and maybe a candy or two. And then you're probably looking at $50, $60 in total, right? And whereas with Mulan, and I do want, there are movies on my list, and we'll get to this in a little bit, but there are movies on my list that I really, really just want to watch in theaters. Mulan was kind of on the other side of this. If it came out in theaters, yeah, I would definitely go watch it and support it. But it
Yeah.
comes out on PVOD, paid video on demand, and I wasn't very upset about it. And I said, you know what? I'd rather have it sooner rather than later. I have a projector and a screen, which it's 100 inches, and a projector that's pretty decent. It's not 4K or anything. It's pretty decent. And so me, Teresa, $30, and maybe invite a couple or two over. They bring dinner, and we're watching a movie with dinner and a meal provided and popcorn that costs a, less than $1, I guess. And so we're gonna be enjoying it for $30, and I have no problems with it. Sure, I would love to watch it in theaters, but again, me and you are on opposite sides of this thing, and so I'm willing to, and more than likely on September 4th, I'll probably be viewing Mulan here at home.
Well, it makes sense because, like, if you and Teresa went, it's like $15 a person in a way. For me, it's strictly $30, and that's just no, that value just doesn't make sense. Also, I'm the type that sneaks in food, so it just doesn't work. I sneak in food in my own house, but it'd be weird. I don't know. I think Mulan makes sense. Like, of all the movies, for a long time, I didn't think it would ever get to this point. But if a movie was going to go straight to PVOD, Mulan being a big tentpole, but at the same time being a one-off does make sense. Obviously, I still don't think you're going to make nearly as much as you would in the theaters, but this is a strong film to be the first one that they do. Like this makes sense for a film. Like it wouldn't make sense for, like, what was the movie Artemis Fowl that came
Mhm.
out earlier this year that went straight to Disney Plus. It's a good thing it went straight to Disney Plus because that would have been a train wreck in box office. But Mulan is like big enough where I think enough people will be willing to spend the money, and I think it makes sense for families. I mean, a family of four buying it for $30 total makes total sense, or however many families or couples or whatever. Single people though, we're gonna have to wait. Or I mean, at least I am. I don't know about the other single people.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to wait, and people in the rest of the world, because they can't. I mean, in the United States, they can't, contain this coronavirus.
Wear a
But people,
mask.
we are going to get a release in the United States. It's going to be a very limited release for theaters that are open at a later date, and people that are overseas, and mostly in China, because I would imagine that the population there kind of wants to see a Chinese-based Disney princess movie. And so, I would imagine that they're going to be generating a lot of money from China. And so they're going to be opening overseas, people that, governments that have been able to deal with this properly, they're going to be opening overseas. So in terms of a total box office, I would imagine that Mulan, Trolls 2 brought in roughly $160 million for PVOD, and it was not $30, it was $20, and without the subscription fee. So I would imagine Mulan, in terms of PVOD numbers, it's probably conservative to say $200 million, maybe. And so if you do that, and Disney keeps all that money, and the overseas they're basically giving up 45% of theater money to the theater companies, and you bring in close to $500-600 million worldwide, I think that's a win. I mean, the portion that you make on PVOD, you keep all to yourself. If it makes 400 million, I think that's even a win. I feel like with everything that's we've been given this year, with COVID-19, in the way that they're struggling in terms of money, I think that they'll take almost anything at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, I didn't think, like I said, I didn't think Mulan would be released in this way. I
Hmm.
thought they would hold on to that thing because, I mean, pretty much all these remakes of the cartoon versions do pretty well in theaters. I mean,
Hmm.
they usually are close to a billion, if not a billion. So for the fact that this one, I thought for sure they would hold it until everything got back to somewhat normal. But they are in probably, I don't want to say dire straits because that makes it paint the picture as more grim, but they are, like most companies right now, kind of hurting because no one's nearly getting the revenue that they were previously. So I mean, it does make sense to finally maybe release something. Now, does this is 100% a test run, like we've said before. This is 100%. They may not say it, but it's 100% a test run. Do they do this with another film? I wonder.
Another property they own that's been pushed back multiple times, and we're talking about
Hmm.
Black Widow here, and that brings us to not just Disney but other movie theater or movie companies, and Black Widow being the next big one for Disney. And if they do this on September 4th, and Black Widow, you're kind of like, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, instead of releasing it in theaters or pushing it back even more, maybe we do the same thing with Black Widow and release it for $30 on Disney Plus. You get the same benefits you get with Mulan, and you get, basically, Disney gets all the profit. I I really don't think that they will do it, because it's such a big, the Marvel Studios is such a big brand that I would imagine they would want to hold it off for theaters. But you look at the current situation that we're in, none of this is really getting better. Like, it's just I don't know. There's a fine balance between, should we keep pushing the date back for all these movies, to, and also with the fact that we've done it 3 or 4 times already, and if they keep doing it, you're doing 5, 6, 7 times, and possibly, hey, let's just scrap it and let's just release this next summer, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, and then that means you're pushing back everything else. You're pushing back Shang-Chi, you're pushing back Eternals, everything gets moved back. And so I don't think they'll do it, but it will not surprise me one bit if they did.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I still think Marvel, like that's still almost a guaranteed. I don't want to say almost a guaranteed because not every Marvel film makes a billion, but like you're on a roll of like the last three specifically were all a billion.
Mm-hmm.
and I think maybe this is off the top of my head, maybe 5 out of the last 6 have been a billion. So, I mean, do you take the chance? I don't want to say take the chance, but do you lose out on possibly that much money? Because I don't think necessarily Black Widow is $1 billion film, but I do think it's like 800 million, like around there. I do think it'll do well, and at this point, everyone trusts Marvel to deliver a good movie. So, do you go ahead and release it? I don't know that you do because you're still losing out on a lot of money. The PVOD is interesting. That's why this Mulan thing is going to be interesting to see how well it does. But like Marvel, I still feel like is. I say that, and I'll be shocked next month, and they announce, "Hey, we're doing this too with Black Widow." You know,
If you liked what you heard, hit that little button down there.
slap it now.
Ding, 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 ding. You can always follow us on Twitter. I'm at One Punch.
I'm at producer Mike 975.
Well, thank you guys so much. Until next time.
See ya.